Hi guys, this is my second video on travel experience to USA from India with quarantine in Mexico. Hope you have watched the first video on travel experience from Hyderabad to Cancun, Mexico via Paris airport. If not, please take a look at it for more information on it. This video is about quarantine experience in Mexico and travel to USA from Mexico after the quarantine. I stayed in an Airbnb for my quarantine time of almost like 15 days and I flew to USA on the 15th day from the time I entered Mexico. I would like to share a few points like currency and cash, then the local commute, then the public transportation and few of the hotels I was suggested and the locality of the Airbnb where I've stayed, and then the food options, also the apps I used for delivery, and my final antigen test and travel to USA. Hope this information would help you guys out as well. Cash and money transactions, I used my USA credit card with free international transaction fee in places where it was accepted. US dollars are accepted in most of the places and the conversion the locals consider is like 1 USD equals to 20 Mexican pesos. I used my USA Chase debit card to withdraw the local currency Mexican pesos, and the bank charged me like 2.5% transaction fees plus additional international charges, which was less than 5 to 6% of the total money withdrawn. And again, it depends on the bank from which you are withdrawing your money from and the ATM which you are using to withdraw the money. It should not be very much, and very few of the taxi drivers and local stores accepted only Mexican pesos, so it's always have a good idea to have cash on you. And out of my experience and conversations with the locals, Uber is not a reliable option in Cancun due to the threatening behavior of local taxi goons towards Uber drivers. They are very less. Sometimes I had to wait for like 30 minutes in order to get an Uber ride, but you would find taxis all over the place in Cancun. It was easy and cheap to commute in few areas using the public transportation, for which I used an app called Moovit that basically suggested me bus numbers based on my route. It is a good choice to have your rental car during your stay because that gives you the flexibility and also saves a lot of time while you're trying to explore and make your stay much more comfortable. If you're renting a car, then it's a good option to rent it out at the airport as it's easy, safe and also reliable. While I was in Airbnb, I stayed in a safe locality called Jardines Del Sur, which had like 5 different gated communities with security at the gates. Also, few of the people who have stayed in Cancun chose these hotels, and these are few of the list of them I might list here now. And personally, I felt most of the hotels in Hotel Zone are good and safe. As you see here, these are the glimpses of the locality and the place where I've stayed. I had almost all the facilities just outside the community gate and a 24 hours OXXO store to grab some quick snacks or coffee and liquids. It was not exactly a gas station, but something like a store in a gas station that we have in USA. I gave my COVID test in a pharmacy chain, and I would talk about it later. Food is another detail I would like to share. I tried few Mexican restaurants, Domino's, and also an Indian restaurant that delivers with food with an extra charge for delivery. Also, a perk of being at an Airbnb is like you can always cook your own meals, and the apps I use for delivery are Uber Eats and Rappi. Rappi is like an Instacart app which basically delivers your goods from stores like 7-Eleven or a local grocery store, etc. Also, many people have been asking me about the locality of the Airbnb I have stayed. Here are few of the glimpses of the stay inside the community gates. It was safe and a clean room which had an AC unit within itself, and obviously the Airbnb had a kitchen for itself which I could use at any point. And the last and most important part of the journey is travel to USA. I gave my COVID test 24 hours before my travel to USA, and it was a rapid antigen test which took like just 5 to 10 minutes to get the report. A day before my flight to USA, I booked the rapid antigen test appointment with the pharmacy chain I would give in the description, which costed me like 350 Mexican pesos. The process was quick, as I mentioned, just 10 minutes to get my report, and the report was printed in both Spanish and English. For my travel to USA, I had my immigration documents, the shortcut slip from FMM, negative antigen test report, and as I mentioned, my flight was on the 15th day. And that's my itinerary. As I also tried to web check-in but could not do for some technical reason which I'm not sure why, so I reached my airport 4 hours before the boarding time to have buffer time and fill the documents if I had missed any. Since I have taken the Air Mexico, which operates domestic in Mexico, there was a huge line and took me for more than an hour to reach the airline's check-in counter. Other airlines check-in counter directly to USA were not busy at all. The airline's check-in agent checked for my negative COVID report and then visa to USA, cut slip form from FMM, and asked if I filled the passenger locator form, which I did not, and it had basic questions like if I got in contact with a COVID positive persons and where I've stayed in the last 14 days, etc. The check-in agent gave me a slip to fill it out and let me get the boarding pass, and the FMM form was picked once I was boarding my last leg of flight to USA. The flight to USA was operated by Delta Airlines. Once I landed in Salt Lake City, which was my port of entry to USA, I picked up my check-in baggage and walked straight to the immigration. Interestingly, the citizen immigration queue was much bigger than the other visa queue. At immigration, I gave my passport, then boarding pass, and the immigration officer scanned them and asked me a few questions like how long I stayed in Mexico, which I answered 15. Why did you travel to Mexico, to which I answered quarantine. Where were you before Mexico? I told India. Why did you go to India? And my answer was vacation, and had to spend more number of days than planned as I could not get the visa interview done at the consulates, and they were busy and booked. The immigration officer then told me to follow another officer to a lobby where it looked like just a secondary documentation check. He checked my I-797, negative COVID report test, questions like how long did you stay in Mexico, and the same questions as usual. It seemed more like a small talk. The officer returned my documents, and 10 seconds later I just saw myself strolling into the hallway to grab some quick coffee and my favorite Chick-fil-A as well. Overall, my experience was good in Mexico, and I did not see any risks of staying in Cancun, as it was more of a tourist location and Mexico depends on tourism. It is always sane for them to make us feel safe. And yeah, this is all my experience, and please do comment if you have any questions that I might be able to help with, and also here is my Instagram ID. Thanks for watching this video. If you felt this video was helpful, please do like, share and subscribe for sure.